All right, now we're going to move on to one that I'm first going to show the vintage bottle.
Oh.
This is a bottle from back in the 80s, from back when this was first released. This is Xeryus by Givenchy. It's considered a woody aromatic fragrance. It was launched in '86 by one of our favorite perfumers, Alberto Morillas. And this one gets a 4.3 out of 5 stars on Fragrantica. A lot of people still love this one. This one has top notes of lavender, jasmine, green notes, lemon, violet, bergamot, nutmeg, and mandarin orange, lily of the valley, rose, and ylang ylang.
Oh my God, it has that
yeah.
too. Oh my God, no wonder I like it.
So middle notes are cypress, juniper berries, carnation, geranium, tarragon, sandalwood, coriander, petitgrain, and cinnamon. And then in the base, oak moss, fir, leather, vetiver, amber, incense, cedar, and musk. So one thing I will say about this is this was a real big fragrance back when it came out. A lot of people wore this one and it became super popular, which I think is why it's still around. Now, this bottle has gone away for, I can't tell you how many years now. So if you buy the current formulation of it, the current thing, the bottle looks like this. There's several of the bottles from Givenchy that have this appearance. And so it looks like they kind of didn't want to retire the line, but they kind of gave up on doing the special bottles and stuff on it. So it went into sort of like the generic bottle that they did. And it's like the name on it is basically just a sticker, but it still smells amazing.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, just to kind of put the two there for you to see the difference and stuff, you got this beautiful Art Deco bottle that if you can find one of these just to rock it in your collection and have it around to look at, it's really neat and pretty. Finding a good vintage one is pretty hard on eBay, and I would say not necessarily worth the price, because what I find is they smell pretty close to the same with this one being a newer formulation, but this one lasts a lot longer.
And it also has ilang ilang in it.
Yeah.
No wonder I liked it when you first showed it to me and I tried it. I was like, wow, I love this.
There's actually even another bottling of this in the kind of the standard Givenchy bottles that are from the Gentleman line.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of different possibilities depending on where you're actually sourcing it. But yeah, definitely really nice one. Okay, now the next one, this one's going to draw a little bit of controversy. Everybody has their opinion on this one.
Okay.
This is the 1988 masterpiece by Dior, Fahrenheit, Eau de Toilette.
All right, really popular.
Really popular, also really controversial, because some people think this smells like gasoline.
Oh.
Or asphalt.
Okay, now I want to smell it.
Okay.
All right, because I've never tried this, but I've always seen this on commercials and ads. So, finally see if it smells like what you tell me it smells like.
So,
oh yeah, asphalt.
So, this one actually has notes of nutmeg, lavender, cedar, chamomile, mandarin orange, hawthorn, bergamot, and lemon. Middle notes of violet leaf, nutmeg, cedar, sandalwood, carnation, honeysuckle, jasmine, and lily of the valley. And in the base, leather, vetiver, musk, amber, patchouli, and tonka bean. Now, when you first smell it and you get that gasoline sort of a note or asphalt note, in, you know, like gasoline or asphalt in the heat sort of a note, what that really is, apparently, is the violet leaf and the leather accord coming together. And you know that thing of what once you see something, you can't unsee it?
Yeah.
This is something that once you smell it, you can't unsmell it.
Yeah, but it's not a bad smelling asphalt. That's the thing.
I know. I like to wear the best of asphalt when I wear asphalt. When I splash gasoline all over myself, I use high test. So this one actually, when you first smell it, you do get that sort of a combination of notes that gives a little bit of like a petroleum sort of a smell. However, once you put this on your skin, it takes on a sort of a different character to it. You notice the leather as being more of a leather accord, and the violet has a bit more of a separate smell. But like you spray it in the air or you put it on a tester strip, it does have a sort of a gasoline or petroleum note. It took me a while to like this one, and for a long time I wouldn't wear it because when I would first smell it, I would get that sort of a gasoline sort of a smell to it. I'm like, I'm not gonna go around smelling like a gas station. But then once you have sat with it for a while and you sort of notice the different notes, then when you smell it, you smell what it really is as it blossoms instead of that initial sort of fooling your nose thing.
Yes.
So I think when you put it on, of course, in the first 10 or 20 minutes, it's going to actually evaporate and build up its character. And by that time you're out the door and it smells like the way that you want other people to smell it. So it's one of those that's a little bit weird for people because the top notes get them and they're like, oh my goodness, I better scrub this off. But actually in 10 or 15 minutes, by the time you're out the door, it smells really nice.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, controversial, but I think it's one that people will like if they get it. That's one that, first of all, it's really hard to find, and there are not really any, not usually good discounter prices on it. It's pretty much full retail most of the time.
Okay, full retail for gasoline.
For gasoline, right, no discounts. So I would suggest if you're interested in this one, do one of two things. Either buy a decant or get some kind of a tester of it and try it out on skin for a few days, or don't take the risk with the EDT. Try to find the Eau de Parfum one and get that one. I think it may actually be just Parfum. And that one has the same DNA, but it skips some of the headier notes and stuff that people have a little bit of an objection to.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on to another classy one. Chanel Egoiste Platinum. This one came out in 1993.
Oh.
And this one I kind of like to think of as sort of a gentleman office scent.
Oh, corner office too?
Yeah, corner office probably.
Yes.
This one definitely is classy and rich.
Top floor?
Pretty close at least.
Okay.
So this one is by Chanel, and the perfumer on this was Jacques Paul, who was their in-house perfumer for quite a few years there.
It's nice.
Gets a 4.2 rating on Fragrantica. Has top notes of lavender, rosemary, neroli, and petitgrain. Middle, geranium, clary sage, galbanum, and jasmine. And then in the base, it has oak moss, vetiver, sandalwood, cedar, and amber. See those?
It's kind of like lighter than the other gentleman fragrances like Dracar and Flores.
Yeah, and I think that's where the platinum is. It's kind of shinier or something. There is the original Egoiste, which is a darker, maybe a little bit more animalic sort of character to it. But this one has a kind of a more vibrant and maybe even outdoorsy, sunshiny sort of a character to it. Definitely sort of energetic and more youthful
Definitely
than the...
top office.
Yeah.
I think. Corner office, top floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this one being Chanel, no discounts.
Definitely top floor.
Chanel is one you will not get discounts. And if you ever see at some place that it has steep discounts,
it's a fake.
It very likely could be a counterfeit because Chanel only sells through pretty much through like licensed retailers or through their own website, and discounts just don't happen. Places that try to do discounts except for authorized sales around certain holidays get shut down and lose their distributorship from Chanel.
Wow.
So yeah, if you like this one, you're gonna pay retail price for it. You can usually get some samples of this, so it's not hard to try out and stuff. It's definitely really good. Or get a decant from a place that sells decants, but get it from a reputable place so that you know what you're getting. And then you can make the decision if you want to invest in your own full bottle of it.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, we're moving up through the 90s, coming up to 1995. And this was a really fun warm weather scent that I always really liked. And it sort of disappeared for a while. I couldn't find it for a long time, and then I finally saw it on the market again and was really happy because I grabbed a bottle of it. And it's a nice warm weather, sporty,
super popular.
Yeah, super popular. And I think that it was even though it was launched in '95, it's still a scent that carries a lot of validity today. It's a youthful, energetic, sort of a young fragrance. It has a nice kind of a light, sporty scent to it.
I'm just trying to remember. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It is the Tommy that I remember from way back when.
This has one of my favorite top notes in it, grapefruit. It also has mint, bergamot, and lavender, so it has a really nice initial presentation to it. And then it has the green apple or Granny Smith apple, cranberry, and rose middle notes to it. And then cotton flower, cactus, and amber for the base.
Cactus.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. I noticed on this one always that, you know, it was the nice fruity smell at first and then sort of the apple, cranberry, rose smell.
Well, it does have an aloe vera kind of smell to it. If you think about cactus and aloe vera, they're probably like similar.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I always tend to notice the middle notes and the top notes most. And the bottom part of it, I kind of don't notice that much. So for me, it seems like after about 3 or 4 hours, it feels like I need to kind of reapply. But it's not terribly expensive. It's just a little hard to find. So, you know, you can definitely, you know, respray it without feeling like you're breaking the bank. But I do suggest if you like this one and you know it, the next time you see it, grab a couple bottles of it because it does seem to go out of stock a lot. If you don't know for sure if you like it, maybe buy 2 bottles, and then if you don't really like it, you can sell it to somebody else because you know, lots of people like this one.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I did save what I think is the best for last. This one is truly one of my favorites. Opium pour Homme, 1995.
So popular too.
Yep.
So popular.
And this is by Yves Saint Laurent. This was a men's flanker from the women's Opium line, which had several editions in it, starting out with the original Opium back in, oh my goodness, it must have been maybe 78 or something for women. And then finally in 1995, they put out a men's edition, which I think really does justice to the Opium DNA.
Ooh.
And
Rich.
It's just a beautiful, lush, intoxicating sort of a fragrance.
Definitely
for men.
intoxicating.
Yeah. This has a fairly simple note breakdown. It was designed by perfumer Jacques Cavalier. And this has black currant, which I think gives it that juicy, dark, like wine sort of a smell to the top. Star anise, which is kind of a fancy way of saying licorice. Pepper galanga, which is a type of a flower. Bourbon vanilla, tolu balsam, and cedar. So
I can definitely smell the bourbon.
Yeah, so it has a sort of a boozy, jammy sort of a smell, a little bit of like licorice spicy sort of a smell. And it's just altogether luxurious, and it lasts a long time. When I put this on, I usually put about 4 to 6 sprays, and the first hour or so is overpowering. So I usually put it on, you know, well before I'm leaving, so that by the time it dries down and stuff, it's a nice maybe arm's length or 2 scent bubble and leaves a nice scent trail. Definitely one that will get noticed and get lots of compliments because it's classy.
Yes, it is.
It's also hard to find. So this one is difficult to find. Once in a while you can find it on some like websites and retailers and stuff. It's not heavily discounted, so kind of on the pricier side. And if you get a chance to smell this and you like it, the next time you see any of it, buy a couple bottles because it's very likely to go discontinued and not be available anymore.
Okay, and that's it for our oldies but goodies edition.
Yep.
Yes.
Thanks for staying with us to the end, those of you that have been here through it, and leave a like and subscribe if you like the channel. If there's any things that you want us to do a review on, or subjects that you would like us to do a kind of a special edition like this, let us know in the comments.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.